Some people see it as a Wall Street icon. Others view it as a symbol of greed. Despite what can't we fall under, we most likely don't know its history. In this episode, we cover the origins of the charging bull. The charging bull has become such a New York staple that most people simply assume that this art piece was commissioned by the city. Well, I got news for you. Not only was it not commissioned by the city, it was actually illegally dropped on the streets right in front of the New York Stock Exchange. So, how did this start? Who is this mysterious person dropping 3.5-ton sculptures on the street, and why? To understand the origins of all this, we have to go back to the 1980s. Let's get started. On October 19, 1987, the U.S. stock market experienced a steep decline, an event known as Black Monday. The Dow Jones fell by 22%, which is the largest percentage decline up to this day. Much like today, the economic atmosphere of New York was very grim. The stock market has just crashed and the economy was stagnating. This event inspired an Italian immigrant named Arturo de Monaca, to create a sculpture to remind New Yorkers of their industriousness and their economic resiliency. De Monaca began to work on a huge sculpture that would cost him $360,000 of his own money. The pieces were so large and ambitious that they had to be casted one by one, then forged together, and then later hand polished. The bull was casted at the Betty Mackey Art Foundry in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. So I'm here with the man himself who built the charging bull, and he's going to give us a tour of where the forging took place. Let's begin.
All right, so first of all, you said forging. We didn't forge the bull. This is a foundry.
Got it.
So we go ahead and we make molds off an existing model. We didn't sculpt the bull. That was done by Arturo de Monaca. And when he made the existing model, full size, then he brought the plaster over to us. And then we went ahead and made molds and prints of it, and then we casted it into bronze.
Excellent.
So that's where we did all that. So this is where all the molds were made. So I'll give you an example. This isn't a bull, but this is a gorilla.
I see.
All right. So this is a molding process. This is the original pattern. So how Arturo gave me plasters of the bull. I have a plaster of the gorilla. Now, one thing with the bull and with this gorilla, I can't do the whole piece in one. I can't do the whole bull or I can't do the whole gorilla in one molding. I have to chop it up into pieces. We do different pieces. We make the molds, we cast the bronze, and then we weld all the pieces back together. This is the area where I melt bronze.
This is where you melted.
Right?
Oh man, I would love to see this in
This is a
action.
functioning foundry. There's only 2 of us that are left that were grandfathered in New York City that are allowed to melt metal.
Wow. Do you need like a special license for that?
Yeah, you need special permits and everything to do it. So over here I actually have over here is one of the horns of the bull.
That's actually
That's from the original one. The one that's damaged,
Yeah.
that's the horn.
Wow. That's super cool.
So the story behind this horn, like I said, we made it back in 1989.
Yeah.
Arturo had the deadline. He wanted it done by a certain time, so because the way he delivered it, without a permit and everything, he dropped it off. So we had everything arranged for the truck and everything. He had it arranged, the perfect timing to do it. I had all the pieces. Like I said, we do the bull. You don't do it in one shot. We do all the different pieces, and then we assemble it, weld it together like a big jigsaw puzzle.
That's awesome.
So we're putting it all together. It's getting ready for the deadline. And the last thing we put on are the head and the horns. So we put on the head, we put on one horn, we're looking all over for the other horn. We said, we're all, doing all the work, all the pieces, we must have forgot to cast it, we can't find it. So that weekend, worked all weekend, just made that, another horn, worked overtime, we casted it, we put it on the bull, finished it, put the patina, delivered it. The rest is history with the bull, how it is over there.
Yep.
But 2 weeks after we delivered it, we found this horn. Somebody just put it in a different location. We always had it. We didn't have to do the casting.
How did you meet Arturo, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that's of course, I met him through work over here. He was dealing with my dad for a couple of years prior to that. Probably I think he came here 10 years prior to when he made the bull. And we were just doing casting.
So he knew Mr. Mackey himself.
Of course, yeah. He knew
Wow.
my father. He knew me. I known him. So, like I said, I was a little kid. I known him from the beginning. One last place where we did all the pieces of the bull. The bull was actually assembled over here in this yard.
This is where it was assembled. This is where history was made.
Right. So we have an overhead crane system. Each section of the bull weighs roughly like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So you figure it's like a jigsaw puzzle, but each piece is 300 pounds. We have to hook it up with the gantries, with the cranes, and we pick it up. We have to put it into position, and then we weld the whole thing together.
That's awesome. And what's the address of this place again, so people could find you?
Sure, it's 227 India Street. We're in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
After the casting was done, the Monica and some friends put the charging bull in a truck and drove to the city. They carefully watched the movement of police, and when an opportunity came, they dropped the charging bull on Broad Street right in front of the New York Stock Exchange. The large sculpture immediately attracted attention, and as people gathered, the Monica handed out flyers explaining that this art piece was a reminder of New York's resilience, industriousness, and that the stock market would go back up. Since this whole thing was illegal, of course, the New York Stock Exchange called the police, and the charging bull was impounded by the New York Police Department. This led to a public outcry, which forced city officials to release the charging bull and reinstall it at Bowling Green. Ever since the Bowling Green installment, the charging bull has been a total hit, rivaling even the Statue of Liberty itself. Other cities have also followed suit, and there is a similar bull in Shanghai and Amsterdam by the same artist. That's it for this episode of Origins. Be sure to download the Cityscape app if you want to find more secret spots in your city. And in this episode, we're going to end with a special guest. We're going to end with the co-founder and CTO of Cityscape. His name is William Wolf, and I'll let him have the floor.
Hey, what's up, New York? My name is Will. I'm from Berlin, and I'm looking forward to the one tool for you guys to explore cities. So hit me up when you're in Berlin.